All right, folks, divisional round is here. What a weekend of football we have upcoming. I think this every year is the best weekend of football all season long. There's still enough games to fill 2 full days, but we're down to the final 8 teams. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we have the college football championship on Monday night. I look for Indiana to win that handily. I think they've been the best team all year long, and I think they're going to win the national championship, which is hard to believe. If you told me 5 years ago Indiana was going to win the national championship and beat Alabama and Oregon as easily as they would, I would have said that you were probably talking about basketball. But let's go ahead and jump into the NFL. A lot of great games this weekend, and we are coming off a 4-2 record last weekend with our picks. I should have been 5-1, but the Packers absolutely shit the bed, and they cost me a win there, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. I didn't do a video on Sunday night because there were still 2 of the 6 games left to play, so I didn't see a huge reason to do it with still 2 playoff games left to go in the weekend, but we'll do one again Sunday night here to recap divisional round. So we're going to go in chronological order here, and I'm going to start with the Bills at the Broncos, and I like the Bills in this game. I think the Bills are going to win this game, and I'm going to take them +1 at Denver, but I want to go back a week to that Jacksonville game. I thought Josh Allen was incredible, but I thought Jacksonville extremely misplayed that game. Watching the game, I know Tony Romo said it probably a dozen times, but I truly felt like the winner of that game was going to go to the Super Bowl, and I think this is the Bills' year. I think they're going to beat the Broncos this weekend, but I want to go back to Jacksonville. So Jacksonville was up 7-3, and they had the ball 4th and 2 around the 10-yard line in the first half, and me and my brother were watching it together. We both kind of looked at each other like, just kick the field goal and take the points. You're really pushing the offensive line around. You're playing extremely well on defense. Go up a touchdown and take the points. They go for it. They don't get it. And then in the second half, they had 2 straight plays where they ran it for over 10 yards, and then they went pass, and went 3 and out on the next 3 plays. And I just thought they mismanaged that game. They seemed to keep wanting to put it in Trevor Lawrence's hand when they were moving the Bills off defensive line, off the line of scrimmage. But nonetheless, Josh Allen was tremendous. They won the game. And to this game, I think the Broncos have a better coach. I think they have a better roster, but I believe in Josh Allen a lot more than I believe in Bo Nix. And I thought Bo Nix had some really shaky games. I know there's a lot of games where he played well in the last few minutes, but he played really terrible the first 3 quarters of the game. And I just think Josh Allen is the difference maker here. He's a lot better quarterback than Bo Nix. I think this game is going to be extremely close heading into the 4th quarter. And then I think the Bills are going to have a drive to win it. And I'm going to take the Bills 24-21. I think the only thing that's going to derail the Bills here is if all of a sudden we're in the second half and the Broncos have like 6 sacks and they're all over Josh Allen. That would be the one thing I would be concerned about if I'm the Bills. But I'm going to take the Bills +1 in Denver. Number 2, and this is my favorite pick of the weekend, I'm going to take the Niners +7 at Seattle. I think this is way too many points. And we picked the Niners to win last week. I don't know if they're going to win, but I think they're going to cover the 7-point spread here. And I think Seattle does have a much better roster, kind of similar to Denver. And, if I look at this game right now, I think Shanahan right now is the best coach in the league. I think McCaffrey's probably one of the best running backs in the league. And but the Seattle defense is very good. I just don't trust Sam Darnold, and we've seen him in playoff games before. I think he's going to have at least 2 turnovers. I think Seattle is way too dependent on JSN from a receiver standpoint. They don't seem like they really have anyone else to go to. Maybe Cooper Kupp about once a game, but I look for Darnold to turn the ball over multiple times. I think this game's going to be very close going into the 4th quarter, and I think that I'm going to pick the Niners 27-24, and I pick them to win the game and go cover the +7 in Seattle. Number 3. Probably the game that I have the most question marks about right now, but I'm going to take the Texans +3, and I do not feel good about this game at all. They are in New England, and I want to take a look at the Patriots for a second. The Patriots have only played 3 teams with a winning record in the regular season. They went 1-2 in those games. Then last week they played the Chargers without 2 offensive linemen, and the Chargers have the worst offensive line historically ever to be in the playoffs. I have no idea if this New England team is very good. They scored only 16 points against the Chargers. They're playing a much better defense this weekend in the Texans. And I just don't know how they're going to play. I don't think they have particularly very good wide receivers. Their defensive line looked tremendous last week, but that was against a very banged-up Chargers defense. I think Drake May is spectacular. I think he's much better than C.J. Stroud, but I just don't know how they're going to score too many points versus that Texans defense. From a Texans standpoint, I think this is the best defense in the NFL. I think right now they're looking very 2013 Seattle Seahawks-ish. I think they're tremendous on defense. Their pass rush with Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter is absolutely ferocious. But I did not like what I saw from C.J. Stroud last week. It seems like every time I looked up, He had put the ball on the ground again or threw a terrible interception. I thought he was absolutely horrendous. Let's see if he can play better this weekend. There's no Nico Collins. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game, and I am going to take the Texans to win this game 21-17. And finally, and this is probably the game I'm most looking forward to this weekend, I'm going to take the Bears plus 3.5 at home versus the Rams. And I think the Rams are going to win this game. And I want to go back to that Packers game for a second. If you look at the Bears right now, the Bears are 3-3 this season when they're down 10 points or more with 5 minutes or less left to go in the game. The rest of the NFL combined only has 3 wins. They've been spectacular in the end of games. I thought Caleb Williams made one of the best throws I've ever seen in my life on 4th down. I thought the Packers had some absolutely terrible clock management. They did miss 2 field goals and an extra point. Those may have been the difference, but nonetheless, the Bears got the win. And when I look at this game versus the Rams are going to be able to move the ball very well versus this Bears defense. I think they are going to move the ball a lot. They're going to get a lot of yards. It's more of a question of if they're going to get the ball in the end zone or not. And if you look at Matt Stafford, since he's come to the Rams, he is 1-8 in games under 32 degrees. It's going to be very cold, and his stats are just not near what they are when they're in a dome or in a warm weather city. I think they're going to struggle a little bit with the cold weather, but I do think that both defenses are very gettable. I'm going to take the Rams to win 27-24, but the Bears will cover the 3.5 points. And that's my picks for the weekend. Can't wait to watch divisional round action this weekend, and we'll talk to everyone Sunday night.